1. Hey, welcome to the call today, guys. Part of the Jumpstart program. Really want to run through a buyer consultation, show you our home buyer advantage program, and in the process we have with getting people pre-approved before we meet them. Right now, you guys see in front of you guys is a pre-approval sheet. When I am prospecting, or if I'm an ISA or a buyer's agent and I'm getting people to come into the office, I'm not just setting an appointment to be able to set the appointment. I'm actually going to go through and build value in terms of offering them their credit score for free, letting them know that within 24 hours or a matter of minutes, depending on your communication with your co-marketing partner. Also, I can let you know your debt to income ratio in a matter of minutes. This is going to affect your buying power, and I think that this is information you need to have at your fingertips before we meet. So when I have everything compressed and laid out for you, it will help you make a easier decision on the price range that we should target. There's a million different ways to add value, through your website, because it should be more than just a website. It should be a communication tool. But here is the pre-approval form that I'm actually going to fill out before I set the appointment. Or if I do set the appointment, I'm setting the appointment a few days out in advance, so the lender can actually contact them, verify all this information is correct, but more importantly, give me a green light so I'm not wasting their time and sitting down with them, and then also wasting my time. Yeah, when I first got started out, I used to just set appointments to set appointments, and a guy by the name of Jarrett Frack was um, my partner in crime. He used to come in, spend 15-20 minutes with them, and then he'd run back to his office feverishly, and then I'm spending time actually jumping into MLS or going through a buyer consultation with him. We're about 40-45 minutes in at this point, and then he would tell me that, hey, these people are actually turned down, and then it's embarrassing to meet their kids and look them in the eyeball, shake their hands, and then sit down with them, whether it's Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday nights, and tell them that they're turned down. And I could have been actually setting another appointment with pre-approved people if I just changed some of my strategies or my principles. And so this is why all this came about, because we was turning down about 60% of the people that we was inviting to the office. So if I had 10 appointments, and then let's say all 10 of them just showed up, and we know that's not true math, but let's say I have 10 of them that actually show up, I'm turning down 6 of them to their face. And so I was having about 6 hours invested versus 4 hours invested to be able to pick up good buyers. And so I needed that pendulum to swing to everybody that showed up to the office. I needed to have a game plan already started and a green light, or they was almost pre-approved and working through some minor things, and maybe they was going to be a long-term buyer. So I'd be willing to do some of that stuff if the lender would give me a green light. So then I started only meeting and working with people that was actually pre-approved, and about 95% actually signed agency with me. There's a guy on the call right now that probably gets close to 100% agencies on the buyer side, with people that sit down and meet him as well. And so if you change your strategy a little bit, you're not going to be presenting to people that's not pre-approved. You're not wasting their time. You're not wasting yours. So please use this purchase questionnaire and make it a 2-step process before you get in front of somebody. If you do make it a 1-step process, because I know some people just need to sell a house now, and they're better salespeople on why that we just need to go open a door for them. And so you have to set the appointment alongside the purchase questionnaire. Just set it a few days out in advance, so it gives your lender enough time to say yes or no. And it's much easier to call and cancel an appointment, and just present maybe a game plan with some credit counseling or whatever needs to happen to actually get approved, versus having to turn them down face to face. All right. Oops. All right. So Kathy, I appreciate you coming into the office today. I got some good news for you. You was able to get pre-approved through Jarrett. So I appreciate you trusting us with that information. And I know that in your account, we have it customized, so I have a good understanding of what you're looking for, and the dialogue we've had over the year or so. But I really want to make sure that I'm in tune with what you're looking for. So I hope you don't mind. I'm going to ask you a few questions. Make sure I have your portfolio updated and everything is on par with what you're looking to achieve. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So Kathy, help me out. I can't remember if are you married?
No.
No. Okay. Any kids?
Yeah, but they're all out of the house.
They all moved out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Love it. So, your current address from the pre-approval sheet that you gave me is 123 Elm Street. That's the correct address, right?
Correct.
Okay. Here in Wichita, 67213. I've only had one number for you. I think this is the actual cell phone. I'm assuming that. But do you have another number that I could contact you on, like a work number, if we're in the middle of negotiating, or I need an emergency line to get a hold of you? Do you have a backup number?
Yeah, it's 316-222-2222.
Okay, awesome. Um, Now you are pre-approved up to 150,000, and you're currently still in your lease for another 3 months. Is that right? That's what you told me before.
Correct.
Okay, and are you still paying $1,000 a month in rent?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So you don't have to sell before we buy, but we do have a lease that has to be satisfied. If we end up finding you the perfect home, are you able to get out of that lease early, or they have you locked in?
I would have to talk to my landlord, but I think I could probably get out of it.
Okay, no problem. Just right now we're in a seller's market, so if we did, get out and look at homes tomorrow, like I know we're scheduled to look at a couple of them. If we're in a multiple offer situation, I just want to make sure that we understand what our options are, because the seller is usually going to pick the person with the cleanest contract with the shortest closing date, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. So it's 4 p.m. right now, and I appreciate you coming into the office and speaking with me, taking a little bit of time off work. When's normally a good time for you to get out and look at homes? So I make sure that I'm customizing my showing partners' activities, and me personally, if I need to get out and show you homes, day, evening, weekend, weekdays, when's the best time to get out and look at homes for you?
Well, I get off of work at 4, so anytime after 4:30 in the evening,
Mhm.
and then on weekends too.
Okay. Now, I only work with serious buyers, and you are serious. Now, if you had to take off work to make sure that we secured you a good deal, possibly made sure the contracts weighted in your favor, and do all this fun stuff that I've talked to you about today, are you able to take off work to make sure that we could secure a deal? If,
Yes, I've already talked to my boss about it.
okay. If needing. I represent about 25 buyers at a time, and we're showing from mid afternoon all the way up until the evening time. So if I needed to have you take off, if we did find that good deal and needed to act now, I wanted to make sure that we had that flexibility. So thank you. Now you was pre-approved up to 150. Realistically, what are you comfortable with a monthly payment with your taxes, your insurance, P&I, everything included?
Oh, 1,000 to 1,200.
Okay. Now that you're working with Jarrett, when we're out actually seeing homes as well, and you're actually looking for an exact payment, you can always call him or ask me to bring an exact payment with me prepared to the showing, and that the loan calculation on the website can be off, and I'll make sure that I get exact figures from him on demand from you. Okay.
Okay.
Now, tell me a little bit about the home that you're actually looking for. Give me the actual desired areas since the last time we spoke. I kind of have an understanding of your price range, bedrooms, bathrooms. Tell me a little bit about the house you're looking for.
I want something with a nice yard, privacy fence preferably,
Mhm.
um, just a nice neighborhood, ranch style.
Ranch style. Okay. So when you talk about nice yard, how big does it have to be? A little nice yard, a big nice yard? What's this?
Oh, it's just me, so small to medium.
Yeah, I don't want you calling your realtor asking him to mow your yard. So,
No.
all right, love it. Okay. Now, when you're looking for a ranch house, uh, are you looking for something with a basement, or you don't want that many stairs?
Um, I really don't care if it has a basement. I mean, for storage it would be good, but
Okay. Now, I want to bring this up too as well. Are you going to be looking for a main floor laundry, or would you care if the laundry is in the basement, or does it need to be main floor?
I prefer main floor.
Okay, excellent. Now, in all of your years, I know you're renting now. Have you ever used a realtor before? Have you ever had an agent represent you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. Well, in your opinion, what you're really looking for me, what are the three things that you're looking for in a realtor?
Someone to find me that perfect house and somebody to help me through all the darn paperwork.
Okay.
Oh, and three things. Negotiate for me.
Negotiate. That's actually one of the things I pride myself on is actually being a professional negotiator. Cody sitting here, he's our showing partner. This guy helps me show homes from 8 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. It's one of my brand promises of my systems within the system. And so he's going to actually be the guy that gets out and shows you the homes. He opens the door for you, but any of the research, any of the negotiating, any of the paperwork, I'm going to be the person that takes care of all that for you. Okay. And so we're great there finding the perfect house. And since you brought that up, if we find about 85% of what you're actually looking for in a home, are you willing to take action?
Well, I just have to see the house.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. It's just we're in a seller's market right now, and most of the buyers are having to settle a little bit. That's what I'm saying. If we can, still find you about 85% of what you're looking for, if you're still be willing to take action, because finding you that perfect house might be a pipe dream in today's market. And I would just want to be upfront with you now, and I'm going to have some statistics that I'll get into you later to help bring some clarity to that. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Is there anything else I should know before we get out in the field and start looking at homes that I have not asked you today, or I didn't discover throughout our year of chatting online with each other?
No, I think you have everything.
Okay. All right. Well, what we're going to do here in a minute, we're going to hop into MLS. I know we have a couple of showings set up for tomorrow, but I want to get you synced in with MLS here in a few minutes. But before I do that, I want to show you a couple of slides here to make sure I don't forget anything. You mind if I actually show you some of our Home Buyer Advantage program? Can I show you some of that?
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Let me just pull that up real quick. Let me just kind of go through this with you. Tell you a little bit about our team. We started the team model in 2002. Really not bragging. Obviously, I'm applying for a job here, but we are number one in Kansas. With the team model, we did rank number 9 in the Wall Street Journal last year. Kind of some cool awards. Got a really good team of people that actually work around me and support you and going to support me throughout this process to make it a hassle-free process. I will tell you, most of my talking is already done. I chatted with you back and forth a lot through email, texting. Gosh, I followed up with you for almost a year before, you was able to accept my invitation and come into the office here. But once we're out looking at homes, I really just kind of lag behind you. I'm looking for defects. I'm looking for issues to point out to you. And so, if you need if you got questions and stuff like that, and that while you're in the house, go ahead and feel free to ask me. But I'm not going to try to sell you the home. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely put you in control. We're going to log in, create a list now. I'm going to still set up your home hunter alert on the website. So as you see homes coming in, you're able to click that little red heart and favorite it. And then you can text me or email me and be like, hey, Adam, there's a couple of favorites in my favorite. And we'll get out, look at them, no pressure whatsoever. Okay.
Okay.
I also want to just highlight how the single agent works. Usually, well, let me be upfront real quick. The number one is complaint in our industry is communication, and they really just think there's a lot of lazy agents out there. However, that's not the case. They're just wearing too many hats. They're the marketer, they're the team leader. They're actually out in the field person. They're their own client care representative. They're helping get from under contract to close. They're running flyers out to the yard, and it can become overwhelming and frustrating. And I know that you understand the volume that we do with this company, but we really make the client centric, and we have built departments around the clients to ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. What I call these is departments of love to really focus on our client. And You're also going to have, I talked about Cody here, which is our showing partner. He's the person that's actually out in the field showing you homes. My role in this whole process is to oversee this project, communicate, set up your showings, do all the research, do the comps for you, fill out a contract, get the bad boy negotiated, make sure you're getting a great deal, fair deal. And Then once that happens, you go from under contract to close. And my support team person. Her name is Liz, and she's going to start communicating with you with the appraisal, the lender. She'll also work me into the repair negotiations, the repair request, but she'll help schedule all that stuff, and she'll kind of be your point of communication to get it to title and to get it closed out of escrow. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So here's Liz's card right now. Here's Cody's card, and here's my card. Give me a buzz. I'll build the routes for Cody. I'll set up all the showings that you want to see. But You do understand his role is just to open to close doors. I handle all the professional negotiating, and then our contracts department will help get it closed out of escrow for you with my oversight as well. Okay. So I just wanted to explain the actual people that are on my team within the team that you're going to be communicating with, because I'd hate for you to have any surprises down the road. Okay. But you have a bunch of people that are going to make sure that you get it to the closing table. Now, I also want to get into some market statistics here. What I'm showing you right now is I'm sliding over a colored coded sheet that is showing it's a buyer's market or a seller's market, depending on the price range. Okay. Now it looks like you're looking in that 150. We'll just say that 100, that 120, 130 to about 160 price range. Now, you can see here that it's a seller's market and there's less than 2 months supply of inventory. That means if another home didn't come on the market today, every single home would sell within a month and a half, under 2 months. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yes.
So you also, if you look over here, you can see that sellers are getting in this price range 98% of their asking price. So that means if we're going to come in and beat them up on price, it's going to be tough for me to get all your closing costs, prepaids, buyer fees, all that stuff taken care of. But if we can negotiate on some of that, maybe we can negotiate on price. So we have to pick and choose what's important to us. And I think Jarrett will help us out with that process with understanding your closing costs and where we're at with that situation. Because I'm sure you guys talked about that, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, do you have, if you had to pay all of your fees, down payment, lending, all that stuff, are you able to pay all that, or do you need your closing costs paid for you?
I have about 5,000 in savings, so I probably will need a little bit.
Okay. All right. Not a problem. I can definitely just wanted to try to understand what you're looking to achieve. If we have to get it paid for 100%, then I wanted to make sure that when we're going to submit the offer, realistically, we're going to end up paying fair market price, which could be the sticker price or above if we're in a multiple offer situation. Because the last 3 deals that I've actually submitted, I've been in multiple offer situations. The good news is I've won 2 of them, and I've won them by putting in strong offers with clean contracts and stuff like that. The ones I just lost a month ago, we needed full closing costs. And then also my buyer really was thought the home was overpriced, so we came in at a much lower price, and unfortunately they didn't get that home. And so all I can do is share with you what everybody's experiencing right now, show you where the market is at. You can take that sheet with you, and if you have any questions about it, feel free to give me a call later and we can chat about it. But I want to move on real quick. All right.
Okay.
Okay. We're definitely in a seller's market. You've heard me talk about that. Sellers are getting about 98% of their asking price. You know, who's who in real estate? I work as a buyer's agent. The seller agent, where the actual sign is listed in the yard, has a contract with the seller, attempting to get the most amount of money for them, represent their best interests, all that stuff. I am going to represent you as a buyer's agent, and that I only work as a buyer specialist. All right, 100% of the clients that I work with choose agency. I could get into a transaction broker a little bit, but I don't represent people as a transaction broker. I work with people that's actually hired me from a beginning date and an end date. You can cancel at any time, all that fun stuff. But 100% of my clients that I represent and the 44 homes I sold this year all chose buyer agency for me to look after their fiduciary responsibility, keep things confidential, and make sure I'm representing their best interest. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what is a buyer specialist? It's somebody that really can focus a singular focus on working with buyers. And so the 15 to 20 people that I told you about, I only represent them. I'm only negotiating deals. I'm customizing showings. I'm setting in buyer consultations like this. But the good news is we sell anywhere from 70 to 100 homes month in and month out here, and I just do that many more deals, and so the average agent is only doing about 7 to 10 deals a year. So you can imagine the experience with negotiating that I have, doing about 40, 45 deals a year. And there's a lot of new agents out there, less experienced, and so I'm definitely going to do what I can do to make sure that everything is weighted in your favor and representing you as a buyer's agent. There's no cost to you. The seller pays the fees. The brokerage keeps half of it, and then there's split commissions. But I'll get into some other fees that we have with our Home Buyer Advantage program and all that stuff. But I'm going to attempt to get over and above that $5,000 that you need help with lending and any other fees taken care of by the seller. Okay. So
Okay.
we're actually about I don't know, inventory wise, we're around 3,000 homes, properties to pick from in the MLS. We'll jump in there in a minute. Also, here's a stack of business cards sliding over to you right now. Go ahead and keep those, because also I represent you with for sale by owners, custom built homes, new construction, open houses, land, all that stuff. If you see something, you drive by it, give me a call, and I will personally call them and get something set up. And most of them are willing to work with a buyer specialist. All right, I'll just prove to them that we have a professional agreement, and then we can enter into negotiations that way. Or if you go to an open house and you're not with me, just leave a card behind, and just let them know you're working with me when you sign in. All right. So the buyer notifications I talked about with favoriting that heart. Feel free to keep communicating with our inside sales team, our client care coordinators through live chat. If for some reason you can't get a hold of me, you can go chat with them live, and they can answer questions for you, or keep favoriting properties and putting them in that category, and I'll get them set up for you. All right. Talked about the best homes don't last long. I feel like we're aligned in terms of taking actions and really helping you, find a home and go through this downsizing process. And so, thank you for, coming in here and trusting in me to help you do that. So the purchase contract, actually, I'm going to leave you that with that today. Here's the purchase contract. Start familiarizing yourself with it. It can seem overwhelming. It's pretty simple. If you have any questions about any of the paragraphs or lines, throughout this process before I actually send you a digital one to sign, just give me just give me a call. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Also, once we do find a house, it's 2016. We live in a technology world. I can screen share with you. I can show you the comps that I'm getting. I'm going to upload a contract into a digital signature program, and so we can be very fast and we can be active and outbeat our competition with technology. But I will need you to log in and open it through email and all that stuff. Are you comfortable with the technology and screen sharing and me sending you digital signatures if we needed to handle the business that way? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, some people still like to meet belly to belly and would prefer to sign a handwritten contract. I will say about 90% of the business that I get signed right now is all digital signatures. So if we see something we like, I'm actually going to run home and let you go home and get, a refreshment, dinner, whatever you need to do. And then instead of us going back to the office for a couple hours, we'll be able to screen share from our living room and to get a deal done. How cool is that?
That's cool.
Okay, will be some earnest money. After we get the home negotiated. Depending on the price of the home, could be anywhere between $500 to $2,000, and you are able to put down the earnest money, and that's part of the $5,000. I'm assuming.
Correct.
Okay, I love it. And then we'll have an inspection after we get the home under contract. We'll be very quick to set up a home inspection. I'll give you a couple that I trust. You can choose them. Bring in your own inspector, so we can actually have an independent inspection on the property, and then we'll enter into possibly asking them for some repairs or not, just depending on your um, thoughts on the inspection. Okay.
Okay.
Also be an appraisal on the home. The bank is gonna have you pay for an appraisal, which could be $400 to $500. Which I'm sure Jarrett talked to you about that to make sure we're not overpaying for the property or the home, because we will be in a multiple offer situation in most cases, and so we want to make sure that we're not overpaying for the property. Okay.
Okay.
The good news is you can cancel this agreement with me at any time. Normally, I represent people for about 6 months. I think since you're about 3 months out on a lease, I think representing you for about 3 months is fair. If you feel like I'm not delivering on communication, Cody's not doing his job, or I'm not delivering on my brand promise, you can fire me. We'll shake hands, walk away, no strings attached. Okay. I will also touch on the love it or leave it guarantee. I love this. If you're not absolutely in love with your house within the first year, we'll turn around and sell it for free on the seller side for you. Because, like I said, we don't sell homes; homes sell themselves. But we don't want you to have buyer's remorse after the fact. Okay. I'm going to do everything I can to get you a home warranty paid for by the seller. But if we unfortunately can't get that done, the good news is myself and Select Homes are willing to split that cost. We have a Raving Fans program as well, where you're able to use our moving trucks. I will make a suggestion: right when we get a home under contract, call our office, talk to Rhonda, and get that scheduled, because most people end up waiting a couple weeks and then they try to call, and then unfortunately they're all booked up, and I don't want you mad at me. And so right here is Rhonda's card. She's our client care manager. And then also, if you ever need to use any of our dollies, folding tables, come in and connect to our Wi-Fi. We have a chocolate fountain now, a margarita machine. You have access to this stuff for life if once we end up closing. And so Rhonda's your go-to gal to communicate with that. And most of the time, it doesn't cost you anything. All we ask for in return is your loyalty. And we love also giving referrals. And I don't know if you're in any type of giving business, but if we can help you out in any way with your business or people that you network with or fundraising, let us know. We're always looking to support other businesses and other groups, but also we also love referrals as well. And I can tell you we got a cool program coming out. Tied into the Raving Fans program, we're going to start being able to track referrals, and you can win like KU basketball tickets or K-State football games or WSU stuff. And so it's a pretty good pretty good program. So the the actual Raving fan sheet is I'll kind of go into the other stuff that we have as well. I talked about the Advantage number one and the Buyer's Advantage program. If you absolutely don't love your house, we'll sell it for free on the seller side within 12 months. The free moving trucks, raving fan stuff, the home warranty. I talked about being able to cancel at any time, but I promise you that's not going to happen. Home hunter service, which is powerful, being able to communicate through that portal, through that site. Anytime showing program, the customized loan programs with Jarrett, and the strategic negotiation advantage stuff. You are going to purchase a home over our bare minimum, so we don't have to worry about that first line. To be able to partake in our home buyer advantage program, that's $295. I will say about 80% of the time I can get prepaids, closing costs, buyer fees, all that stuff taken care of by the seller. And it could be thousands of dollars that we're talking about. But if I can't get that taken care of for you, we can cross that bridge at that time. But other than that, I feel like I can help you achieve what you're really looking to achieve. I will say I turn down more people than I'm actually willing to help and work with. There's only so much time in the universe, but I do feel that I could be a good fit for you, and I do feel that you could be a good fit for me throughout this 6 month process. Is that something that you believe in?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I just need you to sign a date here, and then we'll hop over here at MLS and get started. If that's something you're ready to move forward with. Boom. All right, guys. So, Kathy, obviously a little rusty. I ain't presented that in forever, but you guys pretty much get the formula, right? See how I
Uh-huh.
vetted everything out, talked about just briefly getting into the presentation, tried to fully explain stuff. If we wasn't doing a recording and if you never bought a home before, I could have been able to move through some of that stuff a lot quicker. But since you told me that you've never bought a home before, then we need to fully explain some of that stuff to people so there's no surprises. And so that's why I did ask you if you bought a home before. And then I wanted to get into your experience, and I could have got into some pain points, but there was no pain there. And so that's why I went a little slower with some of that stuff. But obviously, me being a little rusty too, I probably could have got it done a little quicker. But anyways, anybody else have any feedback, thoughts on that? Do you guys see how I used a negative reverse on the closing? I said normally I turn down, and it's true because I have to turn down 60% of the people that I try to get pre-approved. I can only get 40% approved. And so, me knowing my math, I know that I have to turn down more people than I'm willing to accept just because of pre-approval fact. But I just let them know, hey, I turn down more people than I'm willing to accept. I think that I'd be a good fit for you, and I think you'd be a good fit for me. And I think I can believe in my negotiations and my skill set and our team to help you achieve this downsizing, to find this nice yard with this ranch style house. Do you believe in that? Do you think I can help you achieve that? See, I went back and aligned with her, talked about the 295, tying it into closing costs. Actually, give them your guys' stats. If you can only get that stuff paid for 80% of the time, tell them I get this taken care of 80% of the time. This is why it's nice to track your stats. And so those are great numbers. And if I can't get that paid for, but I can still get your closing costs paid for, which is thousands of dollars, we can cross that bridge at that time. Does that sound fair enough? Does that make sense? Tony, any other feedback? You're still delivering this thing daily. Kathy, good stuff for you for next week or for tomorrow or Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been practicing, but I haven't been using that newest version, so I think I'm gonna stick with the one I did. I learned.
You might have the newest version. Um, so,
But I haven't been practicing. I had it on my desktop, and I've been using a different one, but it's not much different at all.
okay. Okay, awesome. Anybody have any other questions or feedback?